Good now, revolutionaries, and welcome to the Rise Up Morning Show. Will, it's September 4th. We're rounding out another week, and you got the memo that we were going to wear our sort of like.
I was just about to be like, if he doesn't make a comment about us both wearing the exact same shade of green, I was about to jump right on it.
I really am sad Alex is not here because somehow I feel like he got the memo too.
No, he doesn't have the color green in his wardrobe.
Yeah,
it's black and like hot highlighter pink. It's just the two ends of the color spectrum. It doesn't make much sense. If we were green screens though, I would just be a floating head in these arms, and you'd be a floating head, and then just like the V part of your chest.
Just a slice of chest.
Just a slice of chest
dagger.
That'd be a lot of fun. God, we got to get back to, dude, we got to get together again. You, me, and Alex, we got to get together again. We got to get a green screen. We got to make like a bunch of like hilarious fucking
That would be a really funny video about making content. We all show up in green and we accidentally green screen ourselves.
No, what I see in my head happening is me and Alex are in green, ready to be green screened, and then you just walk up in just green pants because you're like, what? All of my clothes are green. What are you talking about, guys? Because you don't wear a shirt in like 80% of your videos. So it's like Evan thinks this is 100% clothed, and that would be a hilarious joke.
Well, I wore a shirt today to say hi to all of our new friends who are here because of Nathan. We have got head of product, Nathan Bekerman, at Station70 waiting backstage. We're going to bring him into the conversation in just a moment. But first, let me tell you, if you want to play ahead, your homework is foundationapp.com. We are talking today about self-custody solutions and legacy solutions. This is your place for helpful news, commentary, answers to your crypto questions, and that is going to be the topic on the menu today. Of course, Foundation, if you haven't heard of it yet, you will soon. It's a solution to protect your seed phrase, your keys with industry-grade encryption, all the kinds of security you would hope a storage device for crypto would have. Plus, they have a legacy solution that lets you add, trusted people who can access your crypto in the event that something happens to you. It's simple, it's safe, and we're going to talk more with Nathan about how it works. So please welcome to the Rise Up Morning Show, head of product at Station70, Nathan Bekerman. Welcome to the show. How you doing today, brother? Doing well. And honestly, Nathan kind of got the memo too. I feel like he's got the palette going on.
I was looking at Alex and I'm like, I'm wearing the black hat, the black backwards hat that Alex wears. So I think somehow serendipity, this all worked out.
Yeah,
it did. It's like Alex is here with us right now.
Are you looking to replace the host of a fake radio show?
Of course not. I would never do that.
I would never step upon such holy ground.
Yes. Alex has big shoes. I've never met him before, but I'm sure he's got very large shoes that I would not want to step on or in. But it's good to be here with you guys. Big fan. I'm a big fan. And yeah, you guys have a great community, and like happy to be here and talk about like all the important things that I'm building in crypto. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much for making time for it. I just want you to know that Alex is in the comments on TikTok and he's sweating. He said, "Oi, what's this?" I'm gone for seconds and I get fired. Don't worry, Alex. We aren't going to send you anywhere. But if you have a question, man, just shout it out and we will get it. Nathan, can you tell us more about how you came to be head of product at a crypto company? We just had a panel about like working in Web3, how do you break into the industry, and also like, what do you guys do there?
Yeah, it's interesting. So basically, I was in traditional banking. I worked at JP Morgan for like a very long time when I graduated college, and I wanted to be in tech because I was a big fan of technology, and so I left JP Morgan. I built a on-demand car wash, which was my first tech startup. It's called Wash My Whip, actually.
That's a great name.
Yeah, it was called Wash My Whip. And like that business grew, it scaled for like, we were in 13 cities, 65 employees, doing a lot of revenue. And my CTO at the time was like, hey, you come from finance, you should look at this thing called Bitcoin, right? And this was 2016. And so fast forward in 2017, we built one of the first hedge funds in crypto in the US. And crypto was a different animal back then, right? Now, today exists like basically two main pillars of crypto. It's like institutional crypto and retail crypto. Back then, it was really just retail, right? There were no institutions in crypto. And so it was just individuals playing in the space. And anyway, and so when we built this hedge fund, I started learning about all the problems that a company would have to dealing with crypto, right? Like when you're an individual and you're holding your own crypto, you're basically the gatekeeper, right? You're in decision, you make all decisions, you want to make a trade. But when it's a company, it's like not one person can just have all the passwords. Not one. It's like the head of HR, the CEO. It's like you have to divvy responsibility. So the way crypto is managed has to change, right?
Sure.
And so anyway, after that, I was hired to go build a crypto business at a bank called Cross River. I did that for a long time. And then the biggest problem that I saw was around key security, right? And so we built Station70, and Station70 today, or historically, has primarily focused on working with institutions and helping what the term in institutional crypto is disaster recovery. And basically what that means is what we do is there's all kinds of disasters that can strike, right? And you cannot allow that to let you lose funds, right? Like if you lose your access to your bank account, you just call your bank or you go to the branch, right? If your wallet provider blows up, you need access to your keys. And so that's what we're doing on the crypto side, right? It's very technology and cryptography focused, but it's really cool. And we work with customers like Phantom, Magic Eden, Uniswap, Wormhole, like hundreds of the biggest players in crypto are Station70 clients today. And after a ton of demand, people came to us and were like, hey, why can I use this for my personal crypto?
Sure. Naturally.
And we're like, interesting. Funny you say that, right? And so that's what we built. We built Foundation. Foundation is the individual mobile it's the first time ever that an individual can do this. And yeah, it's really exciting. I'm excited to talk about it here. It's about to go live like imminently. And I didn't mention this backstage, but I'll mention it now. I want to share a special promo code to all the listeners of the morning show and give them, like, we'll figure out what we want to give them. We'll give them something like access, free access, whatever, like for to the foundation.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, totally.
That's fantastic. Okay, wait. So before we got to be informed consumers before we figure out what we want to try and negotiate for. So hold that in your heads, my friends. And if you're listening in podcast land, really travel back in time to try and influence this. Can you tell us more about specifically what this product does?
Yeah, totally. So think about where we are in crypto for a second, right? Like you go and you buy a ledger or you download a Phantom wallet or MetaMask or pick your wallet of choice. And when you create a new wallet, they say, hey, you should store this seed phrase. Write it down on a piece of paper.
Right.
Think about that for a second. Okay?
Right.
Write it down on a piece of paper. What are the risks of pieces of paper? Right?
Oh my God, dude, I have to add color to this because yesterday I have so many pieces of paper in a locked box in my office that have just like the names of wallets, and I've written down like the 12 or 24 seed phrases or whatever, and most of those don't have any crypto on them at all anymore. And so I just went through this, and it's like a stack like this from the years of trying new wallets, and it's just thin pieces of paper. And so I've been going through for the past really 48 hours and figuring out which ones of these wallets have any money on them or not. And luckily almost all of them have zero, but one of them had a nice little bit. And I was like, oh, I wonder how long this has been here. And just went through that. And then also I have, for my important wallets, I have the seed phrases on paper stored in 2 other lock boxes located in different states. So it's just like, that's what I've done for years. And it's annoying. But yeah, I mean, it's paper. Everything can happen to paper. You know, it's
crazy.
It can just go poof. And the odds of you remembering your 12 or 24 word phrases is slim to none.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the other problem I had was, you know, this is a personal problem. I had kind of the same thing you're describing, Will. And also, like, what happens, because I travel a lot for work, right? I'm in a hotel room right now. Every time I get on a plane, especially with all the stuff that's been happening with planes lately, I'm married. I text my wife. I'm like, hey, this is where all the new seed phrases are. And then these are where the instructions are, what you need to do with the seed phrase if I die, right? And so if you think about it, it's like it's crazy that we're there in 2025, almost 2026, but crypto is a baby, right? And so all these basic tools that we've built out after hundreds of years for like traditional finance, like when you open a brokerage account or an account at a bank, the first thing they ask you is like, who's the beneficiary for this, right? If something happens to you, who's the beneficiary? We don't have that in crypto, right? That is what Foundation is building. Foundation is building a security companion, and we're starting with the most basic features, which are, let's store your seed phrases encrypted in a cloud vault, right? Where only you have access to it, but we can store it for you. So you always have access to it, right? Like what happens if you're traveling and you need to access that seed phrase that's in a vault in a different state, right? Like, what, do you have to go there? You know, like, what year is this?
Convenient.
Yeah.
On a horse and carriage? Do you have to go there also?
I mean, that is how I travel.
Right.
So yes, preferably,
Naturally.
yes. Yeah.
Naturally.
Biscuit needs to have his legs stretched.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this is kind of like where we are. And so one important thing about like the rest of the team on Station 70, these guys are industry veterans, okay? Our CTO was the first PhD cryptographer hired at Coinbase, okay? He has 7 patents to his name on key management. His name is Dr. Adam Everspaw. We call him Ace, okay? He's a beast. Yeah. He's a beast.
Also, great nickname.
Yes, Ace.
If your nickname is Ace, you're amazing at something.
And you're also a doctor, like Dr. Ace Everspaw. Okay,
yes.
All right.
Yeah, Dr. Ace. That yeah, exactly. That's it. And our CEO, Adam Healy, this guy, I mean, he was previously the CISO at BlockFi. Okay.
Yeah.
At its peak, it was the largest custodian of crypto, right? They had tens of billions of dollars. Before that, he was chief security officer at Bakkt. He spent a lot of time in the U.S. government, special armed forces, security. Like, he's been deployed. He does all kinds of security. That guy's a beast. Like, you know, he also does physical security, so you don't want.
I was gonna say he looks like the kind of guy who would kick me out of backstage if I wasn't.
Yep. He also kind of looks like John Travolta, which I was thinking, and then Eddie and TikTok also mentioned. And I was like, oh my god, you're right.
Yes, he does have that look.
So you got the brains, you got the beauty, and clearly the experience. That's killer.
Yeah, and you know, it's the funny thing about security and with like everyone is that no one wants to like spend time on it. Everyone's like focused on what's the next meme coin and like, you know, how do I 100x? But think about if you get rug pulled and what happens if you lose that wallet, right? Even if it's 100x and you lose the wallet, you lose all that money, right? Yeah. And so if you're not secure, if you're not safe, that's why we want to build a security companion, right? And that's what Foundation is building. We're starting with seed phrase storage and with the feature that we call legacy, which is basically select the beneficiary, select someone that if you die, if something happens to you, those seed phrases are automatically transferred.
Can you go a little more in detail about how that encryption works? We have a lot of concern. You know, we go through every wallet on our show, and folks in our audience, our friend DYOR says, you know, this is one of the biggest fears users have in crypto is what's going to happen. And how does it work is the question. You know, is there, you mentioned it's encrypted. So is it encrypted at the device level? And then you mentioned it's stored in the cloud, but like, is that cloud decentralized? Is there any way to unencrypt it without my private key? And is there a cost to this? Are just some of the questions I know people are going to back home.
Yeah, these are great questions. And all the same questions that I would have asked, like, you know, but before I was at my spot, I was like a DJ, just like everyone in the crowd, right? And I have probably 18 wallets, right? Just like, and so how is it secure, okay? We use the same security, the Face ID security when you use your phone, which basically taps into what's called the secure enclave on your device, which essentially what that means, it's a one-of-one key, right? Only your device, your phone, can access the encrypted data, right? So when you go to Foundation, you download the app, it asks you, you can scan a QR code to enter a seed phrase, or you can enter it manually. And as soon as you enter it, the device checks your Face ID and it encrypts the data with your secure enclave, with your device, right? So there's multiple layers of security. Number one is your login, right, to the app. Number two is your Face ID and the secure enclave. And so when that data is beamed up to the cloud, and we're using AWS secure cloud infrastructure, right? When that data is beamed up to the cloud, it's basically, think of it this way, right? We're storing it in a vault, but the key to open that vault is your phone, right? And only your phone can open that information. No one else can see it, not even us, right? We don't even know what's on there.
Okay,
everything is done on the device.
What if I lose the device?
What if you lose the device? Great question, right?
Because you know I'm going to lose my phone somehow, somewhere.
100%. And I saw a good question there in the comments. So we have this other feature called recovery devices, okay? And recovery devices allow you essentially to create as many recovery devices as you want. But this is the caveat. They don't have to be other phones, right? There can be something called YubiKeys, right? YubiKeys are very well known in the industry, right? They are one-of-one cryptographic devices that allow you, if you can go to the website Yubico, right? Yubico. Yeah. You can, and this can be an NFC or a 5C device that you plug into your phone. And basically what you're doing is you're creating a duplicate of the key that can access your seed phrases, right? So basically your phone, and then you say, look, I want to have copies of this because if I lose my phone, I want to get access to my seed phrase, right? So you can have 10 of these. You can have in all the states that Will was talking about, you can have one in your office, one you're safe. Now, the beauty of this is that the device alone, if you lose your YubiKey, no one can access your seed phrase, right? That is the beauty. Why? Because you need your login information and the recovery device in order to access it, right? So what would happen? Let's just go through the example, right? If you lose your phone, you get a new phone, and you download Foundation app, and you log in with your credentials, and the app will tell you, hey, this looks like a new device. You've entered recovery mode. We don't say anything. Say, do you have a recovery device? So it looks like you registered 5 of them, right? Do you have any of these recovery devices? And if you say no, you won't get access to your seed phrases. So you pick one of those recovery devices, you plug it in, and then that decrypts and hydrates that new device with those seed phrases that you have, right? It's maybe sounds a little complex, but this is like the next generation of security and how things are going to be done. And by the way, the beneficiary feature that we were talking about, right? It works in the same way. It works in the same way. In order for that to work, before something happens to you, you have to select the beneficiary. They have to download the Foundation app, and then their phone becomes a recovery key as well, right? And so the way that feature works is you basically select the beneficiary and you say, hey, I want you create a timer, right? It's like a ticking bomb, but it's a transfer of seed phrases. And so you say, if 12 months go by and I don't open this app, transfer my seed phrases.
Yeah.
And so if you think about it, we will send you many notifications, emails, push notifications, say, hey, your timer's getting close to your end date, to your transfer date, open the app. But if something actually happens to you, you do it. And for me, it's 12 months, right? Like, I'm comfortable. I know that my phone's always on me, right? If I get a notification, all I have to do is open the app to reset the timer. That's it. Like 3 seconds. And this guarantees that your seed phrases will be transferred. So it's compatible with every wallet, right? This foundation is not a wallet. We are a companion to your wallets, right? How many wallets does everyone have? Everyone's got 15 different kinds of wallets. They got Phantoms, they got MetaMask, they got Ledgers, et cetera, et cetera. This is meant to be compatible with all wallets, and it is compatible with all wallets.
12 or 24 words or
exactly 12 or 24. Yeah.
Interesting. And the one thing we didn't touch too much on that I wanted to just give people a visual for and let you know, again, this is all in the website. If you go to foundationapp.com, you can see this. They've got different pricing plans, monthly and annual, depending on how many wallets you want to back up, how many recovery devices that you have, and how many legacy members you want to share that with. So it looks like right now the button says join the waitlist, but the product is going live soon. Imminently. So stand by for that. I have just one or two more questions on this. You know, as somebody who, the first thing is I want to highlight what Tori said. She said, oh no, I don't love AWS. So is there,
well, guess what, Tori? You most likely use it.
100%.
Is this
you use Ethereum, you use AWS.
Yeah, also that.
You know, AWS is the backbone of the internet, but I do think the criticism is warranted, and there are people working on this. So my question is, like, in the future, if we are relying on a more decentralized storage solution, backup solution, servers for the whole internet, hosting, whatever, is this going to be the kind of thing that's, you know, easy to migrate? I imagine updating something like this would be difficult and would cause concerns for people. And we don't have to get too technical about it, but is that something that's on your radar at all?
It's a good question. Like, it's definitely on our radar. We've thought about this. So let me put it this way for Tori, and I understand the concerns, right? I really do. But I would ask Tori this question. It's like, if you're using a decentralized database, are you willing to cope with the issues that come with that, right? There's a lot of convenience with using AWS. The uptime is amazing. The speed is amazing, right? Like, if you're using a decentralized data server, you have to pay gas every time you're going to check something, right? Are you okay paying that additional cost? Number one. Number two, what happens if, you know, there's congestion and you want your seed phrase, but like you're going to have to wait like 20 minutes. So we're definitely thinking about it. I think once decentralized data storage is like very robust and that it's resilient, we would definitely consider it, you know?
Yeah. The other thing as well to think about with that is security and reliability too. So it's like AWS's cloud storage is the backbone of the internet. It's super well tested. Billions of dollars are continuously put into ensuring that its security is high, because if it gets breached, it's a global economic meltdown is what it is. But and at the same time, like, yeah, blockchain technology as a database is more secure than centralized versions for sure. Depending on the size of proof of work, or, you know, how decentralized the proof of stake is, all that kind of stuff matters. But especially if you're looking at newer decentralized storage options, we have seen so many problems with newer software of any type, right? There's gaps in the code. It's not as well tested. It's not as well proven through time. AWS has that, right? Which is a nice security, reliability feeling as a consumer. Decentralized options, can they be more secure? Absolutely. But a lot of them are still very new as compared to AWS and may have some kind of gap or hole in the code that just hasn't been found yet, right? So that's something else to consider.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. The other question I had was about just the concern some people had, and maybe this is not a question, but I wanted to give you a chance to address it. The concern some people have is that a dead man switch, however long, and maybe this is not a true dead man switch because that's a technical term for this kind of mechanism that if you don't respond, your legacy is transferred, your digital assets are transferred. Is this just quickly, is this, that's an on-chain transfer, like it's a reassignment of assets to the wallet you specify, or it's like an account-based transfer and someone has to claim it?
It's actually, it's even simpler than that. It's just a seed phrase transfer, right? It's
Got
like if you gave your seed phrase to your loved one, then they can do whatever they want with it. Now, it's very interesting that you asked that question because kind of give you guys a future vision of how Foundation will work and what we're building, right?
Yeah.
We've gotten a ton of feedback from people in crypto and say, hey, my beneficiary has no idea what to do with these seed phrases, right? And that's a great point, right? A lot of people who are in crypto, they're transferring assets to like kids or significant loved ones, whatever, that are not in crypto, and they're like, yeah, they don't know what to do. So what are we going to do? We believe that we can help with the transfer, and we can partner with like wealth managers or advisors or people who are doing stuff like this, and you still transfer the seed phrase to the beneficiary, but then they have a very easy way to execute whatever they need to do. If they need to make a sale, they need to, all that kind of stuff. And even more so, this is a big request that we've gotten actually, and it was this one guy who was big in crypto, and he's like, my wife has no idea what I'm doing on chain, but if with the Foundation app, if she could just open and see kind of the portfolio and see what's going on, they love sharing what's going on. So it's an easy way for you as a beneficiary or shared account access to be able to see, hey, what's going on with the portfolio? You know what I mean? So it's not a transfer of assets. It's not an on-chain transaction. That's why it's beautiful and it's compatible with all wallets and all assets. We don't actually touch the blockchain, right? And that adds to the security of it, right? That adds to security. We're not signing any transactions on your behalf. We're just transferring your seed phrase, your private key, to your beneficiary, to your loved one.
Got it. I always am, a little worried about those myself in terms of like, I personally don't feel confident. What if I fall into a coma is what I worry about.
Yeah.
And obviously my beneficiaries are probably people that I would have a good enough relationship with that if I fell into a coma, I'd want them to have my crypto and I'd want them to be able to use it.
I got you, brother. Don't worry.
Exactly.
I'll accept being your beneficiary.
But what I like about it is that this is a needed solution because we don't have options. And there is an option that works for you. There's no one size fits all in crypto. People always ask us like, what should I buy? I'm like, my brother, my sister in Christ, how, I don't know anything about you. Like, what do you do? What are your goals?
I don't know you.
Yeah, right. I don't know how to sell this thing. And so like, you need to see it as a one size fits you. It shouldn't just be that you're forced into whatever happens to be available and hope it's good enough for you. So take it. We have the tools to program better, more flexible, whatever. So I think that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah. And if you think about the evolution of this feature, things that we are going to add, right? The ability to add notes, right? So you want to add note. Let's say you fall into a coma, put a note in there. It's like, hey, if this dead man's switch hits, and Will gets your crypto, say, hey, Will, if I'm dead, like, please, don't sell all my XRP, right? Or whatever. Or, but if I'm in a coma, like, do this, right? It's like, it's kind of morbid, but it's important, right? Like, we want options. You want to give you options and give you control. And the other thing is multiple beneficiaries, right? So you can select, hey, I want this wallet to go to this person. I want this wallet to go to that person, or please do, the options are endless. And the fact that you can do it at the moment that something happens, and you don't have to wait, you don't have to go through court, you don't have to go through legal hoops, etc. That's totally a separate thing. This is direct crypto, pass your key to your loved ones.
Yeah. Very cool. Okay, so you teased that there'd be some kind of incentive, and that's something that if you're not sure what it is, if you need to talk to your team, we can figure it out later. I want to remind the audience that this is your space for questions. If we miss your question, feel free to post it again. And if you're listening in the future, hello, we hope your candles are green. The best place for your questions will be the Rise Up Morning Show community. RumsHQ, RUMSHQ.com has all the links you need. It's right there at the very top. Totally free to join. Come on in, introduce yourself, and then say, hey, was listening to the episode with Nathan, Love Foundation. I wanted to know, whatever. We know where he lives, and we want you to feel like you can come with your questions where the conversation lives 24/7. So, Nathan, while we wait for folks to submit their questions, and before we get you out of here, is there anything else that you wanted to share with us about Foundation, about Station 70, or even about what you're doing, how people can support you, brother?
Yeah, I mean, look, I built Foundation because I had this problem, right? I shared the story earlier. Like every time I get on a plane, every time I'm traveling, like, and it was such a big fear, right? Like that it compelled me to build this, right? Like I've been thinking about this for years. I've been working on this for years. So yeah, I mean the best place to follow me is on LinkedIn. I promise to be doing more stuff on TikTok. I'm a big fan of what you guys are doing on TikTok. I need to do more on TikTok. And like I'm super excited about I'm super excited. Let me fix that for you, actually. I'm super excited about being able to do more stuff. And, like the world is changing. And we need to build the tools, the foundation, pun intended, of crypto, right?
Yeah.
And so this is the only way that it's going to work.
Well, we appreciate the work, man. Will, did you have any other questions for Nathan or anything you wanted to share about this as you just reflect on the solution? I agree. It's very needed.
No, I mean, what I'll say is this is such a big pain point in the industry. It's always been crazy to me that we make so many advancements in the Web3 space from a technological standpoint, whether it was, layer 2 solving the problems with Ethereum, whether it was, hey, we have regulation moving forward now after the FTX collapse. Hey, we've corrected course with the SEC. Hey, we're getting Bitcoin strategic reserves and some altcoins being thrown in the mix, and nation states are talking about it, and yada, yada, yada. Better wallets, better experiences, all that stuff. But we've always had to write this shit down on paper. I've always thought that. So it's a huge boon for users. And it's solving not just a barrier to entry for institutions, which is one of the biggest, most annoying things that when we talk to some Web3 companies, and I get it, but they talk to Web3s and they're just focused on institutional players. I'm like, well, what about like everybody else?
Right.
You're trying to onboard the masses, but you're not doing the things to onboard the masses. You're doing the things to further onboard the 17 large DeFi wallets or Larry Fink at BlackRock. And I get it. There's a lot of money. I understand, and you're a business. But at the same time, you're not doing what you say is your core mission. And this, Nathan, is something that is towards the core mission that breaks down barriers for Web3 as a whole and is actually something genuinely helpful for the industry to accomplish things that are much more so in line with the vision and dream of Satoshi, whether he or she or they, a group of people, would have wanted. So I think that's awesome. And there are very few projects that come on here that I immediately start writing down scripts and stuff for videos to make, because this kind of stuff is so useful. I will make videos on it for free to tell people about, because I think it's a big fucking deal. So kudos to you, dude. I think this is awesome. Appreciate
it. You actually brought up a really big point that we didn't touch on. I was in Mexico City last week for the inaugural stablecoin conference that was hosted there. And one of the most interesting stats that I heard, okay, is that 25% of Tether is used for savings, okay?
Wow.
All over the world. And when you think about that, people in Latin America, right? Just to talk about Satoshi's vision, because you inspired me with that comment. So, like, people are holding stable coins, self-custody, as their savings, right? Because for them, they're holding dollars. It's so much better than the local currency, right? And by the way, I interviewed some people. You'll see it on my LinkedIn. I posted one of the interviews. One of the questions I asked is, do you think stable coins are a gateway drug to Bitcoin? I think it is, right?
No,
Isn't
for
that
sure.
so crazy? Isn't it
Yeah.
crazy to think about stable coins as a gateway to Bitcoin, right? People are starting. It's easy to get behind, like, hey, I just want to save in dollars. And here's how you do it. And here's how you onboard to crypto, right?
Yeah.
And so that is happening. And then think about all those people that have Tether at, or USD or whatever stable coin, and that's their savings account. What security do they have? Right? They're storing seed phrase on a piece of paper. That's their savings account. Think about it. If your entire net worth was stored on a piece of paper and there's a flood in your house, right? Like, you guys remember when the LA fires were happening and people lost their ledgers? You know the guy in London who's been searching for his ledger device? I mean, it's crazy, right? It's crazy. And so all these things have literally compelled me. I cannot work on anything else, right? And so I'm here to share with you. I want to bring this community with me. We're gonna do a lot of stuff. Once the app is in the App Store, which it actually is, and once we announce it, you will be able to share promo code with all the community of the Rise Up Morning Show, and we'll give discounts to everyone. And we just want feedback. Just want people to use it. We want. Like, this is a long game. We're playing the long game here. We're not trying to nickel and dime anyone,
Well, I appreciate it. And we do have a couple of rapid fire questions for you from Bearded. Can we pay with crypto?
Great question. We are setting that up. It's not live yet, but we will. We will allow you to pay with crypto. Yeah.
And then he also wanted to know, what happens to customer data, the encrypted bits, if they ever decide to stop using the service?
It gets deleted. And anyway, it's encrypted. So it's the same. Someone also, I saw they asked that question, like, what happens if you get hacked? If we get hacked, all your data is encrypted. So the only thing that can be read of your seed phrase can only be read on your phone, right? So if someone doesn't have your device, your login, and our data, they cannot read anything, right? And so that's the beauty of decentralization, right? It's decentralized.
Got it. I also wanted to know, just out of personal curiosity, the most common question we get is, what wallet should I use? It's not one size fits all. Everybody's got a different preference. I'm curious to know what crypto wallets you personally use, maybe hot and cold. I'm sure you have a number of different ones. And if somebody came up to you, how you answer that question. What wallet should I use?
Wow. Damn, I wasn't ready for that one. I love it. So
keeping you on your toes.
Yeah, it's an educational show.
I'm OG-ish. So my first wallet was MetaMask, right? And I have a lot of Bitcoin in MetaMask, and like I have a deposit on Aave, and like I'm doing like some light leverage. I wanted to buy a house, so I wasn't gonna sell my Bitcoin. You never sell your Bitcoin, right? And so MetaMask is one of those wallets that I'll always use, and I think it's time tested, so it's an easy one to start with. I also have Phantom. I also have Ledger. I use some Rainbow, some Rabby. I like the UX. My one friend who I onboarded to crypto recently, the only wallet he has is Rabby wallet, right? Because he was all on Ethereum. The UX was good for him, and it worked out. It's a great question, and to be honest, I've spoken to my marketing team. We want to spend a lot of time on this question, right? Because I think in Foundation we have a really interesting approach, and we have an interesting point of view, and we will be able to talk about it. And I see my boy Doug jumping in here. Oh my gosh, such a big fan of Doug.
Do you know Doug? Well, ladies and gentlemen, you can't see him on the big screen. He's on the TikTok screen. He said he had a question for you. Welcome to the show, Doug. Our friend from the bathroom live. Hold tight, Doug. Let me give you some volume. I have to, turn you up so we don't get a lion roar. How you doing?
Good now?
All you. Yep. Take it away.
So I jumped on early. I was about to drop for a work call, and I canceled it because I'm like, is this the Nate? The Nate?
Yes, it is.
How you doing, man?
What's up, brother? Damn, I know Doug from the trenches, man. Like,
Is that right?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
that's how you know I'm legitimate. I'm legitimate. I have a stamp of legitimate because I know Doug.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
so the reason I came up and say a good story is that when experiments went crazy last year, Nate was one of the first people that kind of just gave me some guidance on when things were crazy. So he's a good dude, and we become friends now. And I haven't catch up with you, dude. It's been a while, but I was super excited to see you up there. I'm like, these are two worlds intersecting.
Yeah,
I love it.
crazy. I know, crazy. Here we are.
So that's all. I really want to say hello. That's really what
Man, I'm really glad. Now that I know there's circle going on here, you'll have to come back next time to. Have you seen the Rise Up Market Watch show? Will and Doug run that show, and it's focused on the macro markets and the bigger picture that makes crypto markets.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then we just chart anything and everything, and it's a running long beef is a running joke now, because several months ago we were looking at the cattle charts, because we have some folks in our community who are in the cattling business, and they're just like, hey, take a look at cattle chart. And we took a look, and we're like, damn, are we long on cattle? And people were like, long beef, and then since then cattle has just skyrocketed, and so
That's amazing.
Long beef. Anyway,
That's amazing. Yeah, Doug's a great market strategist. I've been following him. This is the beauty of crypto, right? Like, crypto is so grassroots, and when you connect with people. Actually, I was just at my friend's wedding. This is a great story. I was at my friend's wedding, and he's big in the MFers community, right? You guys know that NFT.
Yep.
And bro, 5 people showed up to his wedding. People that he met online, and these are my MFers, and it's like, how crazy is that?
That's awesome,
right? And I'm like, what? And he's like, oh, these are the people. And they showed up to his wedding. It's kind of amazing, honestly. Kind of amazing. But
just our internet friends, man.
Yeah.
Just our internet friends.
Internet friends. You gotta love it.
Well, Nate, do you have a final thought for our audience? A last question, good joke, prediction, word of wisdom, anything like that before we say thank you and goodbye for now?
I think people. We're so early. People don't realize what stable coins are doing for crypto, right?
Mm-hmm.
Stable coins, I don't know, Doug, if you heard this. Stable coins are a gateway drug to Bitcoin and to crypto, right? And so we're onboarding people that all they have in their wallet right now is stable coins, right? And then they're going to say, well, if I have this stable coin, but now I can put these stable coins into a better saving mechanism, right?
Yep.
I think that is the most exciting thing for me. Imagine all those market cap stable coins, not all of them, but a piece of them being transferred into Bitcoin, and then the pie keeps getting bigger, and it's exponential right now. It's exponential. And so I'm very excited. Please, if you want to be part of the Foundation community, go to foundationapp.com and sign up. And I'm happy to be part of this community, and we'll be sharing some discount codes and stuff when everything's live.
Nathan, we would love to have you back sometime. This is
Amazing.
Nate Bekerman, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for making time to join the show today, and good luck with the launch. We'll be rooting for you when it goes live.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much.
Good luck, dude. Nice meeting you, man.
Bye for now, brother. Ladies and gentlemen, monsters and machines, the show is not over. We have got a little more Rise Up for you. And Doug, I know you said you have to run at the top of the hour, but maybe do you have a second to just give us a take on something? Will?
Hang on. I have to run right now.
Oh my gosh.
I want to hear a take on ADP. That's what I want to hear. That's why I came here in the end.
Oh yeah. So we got jobs data that came in, and ADP they both came in weak, which is what you want for rate cuts. So the ADP payrolls data came in at 54,000. It was estimated to be at 73,000, and previously it was 104,000. So that is a big drop in the health of the labor market, and also a miss of how bad it was going to drop, which is good, which I know sounds weird, but worse labor market in the US means the odds of rate cuts happening on September 17th, and hopefully multiple rate cuts throughout the end of the year, increases. Also, the initial jobless claims, which happens weekly, came in at 237,000. The expectations are 230,000. So 7,000 more people filed for unemployment last week than was to be expected. And it was already a pretty large amount in terms of what was to be expected. So odds of rate cuts on September 17th look pretty damn locked in. And maybe we can get multiple rate cuts before the end of this year. So that was that. And I have to run.
And you got to go. Okay, Doug, you got a second? I can keep it. Okay, cool. Then, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Will Watson, we'll see you later, brother.
Bye-bye.
Let me remind folks that in just a couple of minutes, as it is Thursday, we are continuing the newly established Thursday tradition of jumping over into Circle. And today we got to work around. I have a meeting with our Circle rep. We are going to go to an event in Circle that will lead you to a Google Meet. So don't be alarmed. We're going to continue the show there to answer your crypto questions. If you're not in the Rise Up community yet, that's what I'm talking about. The link is RUMS, RUMSHQ.com. You can create a profile in just a couple of clicks. It's more secure than Discord. It's easier to use. And we wanted to do this so that you could have a chance to get up on stage or be in a place where your comments aren't limited to 140 characters and ask us your questions. So we'll be starting that just after we get off here at about the top of the hour. But Doug, man, I got to know what you're thinking, what you're doing. How you been, man?
No, I'm good. This is the second day in a row I did a stream before this. So it's nice getting back in the vibe here of the TikTok world, which is awesome. But I will say that the sentiment I had there, and also to see with the jobs data that came out, and I saw someone here talk about strategy. I think so. September historically is let's call it just a noisy, volatile month. Right, in general, it's not the greatest month overall for historically in the end. Usually it's the latter half that's not. The first half is actually usually good. But regardless, my thoughts on just the market overall is that we have only a little bit left. Like we're toward the tail end of this cycle, however you want to define this cycle. And September to me is a transitional month. That's almost like trying to gauge where we kind of go next, or how big we go next, or what the next move is. So my kind of take is that you should be in a mode of capital preservation and not taking any new significant risks until there's clarity of what happens with the rate cuts, right? So it's almost that, what Will just said, it's the more probable it's going to happen. So as it leads up to it, is the market going to be on the way up? Prior to it, it's going to be on the way down. And then getting a feel for post-rate decision is, to me, where you want to position yourself, and not saying you to sit there and be like, hey, I'm waiting for the rate decision on the 17th, I think it is, to happen,
right,
to get a trade, but wait 24 hours. And just because I do believe that we have a remaining, let's call it 0 to 90 days of, I would call it everyone's a genius season at some point in this run, but we still got to get through this phase. So don't get chopped up. Have a plan, and right now we're just going to keep monitoring it. So I'm glad to be here to talk through that as we kind of see it progress.
So one of the questions we're getting then is it too late to add to my altcoin bags or start them if I haven't? And what are the steps I need to be thinking about?
Well, it really depends on, how it is what are your objectives, right? I know it's like, hey, I want to make a lot of money. Yeah, of course, me too. But it really comes down to what is your window of your investment horizon. Are you putting something into Bitcoin and you don't care about it for a decade? Are you going to be okay if there was a 20-30% pullback on alts if you bought some now? I mean, there are questions you have to kind of ask yourself. So to answer your question, you are not late by any means. However, we are in still a very interesting spot, and there has not been a pretty, I'm gonna call it a flush of alts or some type of bigger pullback. We may not get it, but for me, if someone's new, I'd be waiting for that to happen, to position yourself, or at least one thing else I'll leave with this. I feel like a Solana right now is at what? I think it's one. I don't know what it is.
I have not looked at it today, but the fact that you said one makes me. Oh, damn it.
So let's say Sol right now. So let's say I'm brand new to crypto and I have $100. So I'm gonna put it into altcoins. So alts, question here, altcoins are everything but Bitcoin, alternative. So with Sol at 207 right now, if I have FOMO, it's like I have $100, I want to have some Sol, I would buy $30 worth, $50 worth. Just buy that now, and then in your mind, wish and hope for it to pull back, into your 180s, your 170s, 160s, and then put the remainder of the capital in. I'm not giving financial advice here, but you just don't want to feel you have to like full port. I mean, like put your entire, whatever liquid you have into crypto right now, because you feel like you're gonna miss out. You got to change the FOMO mindset to like more pay attention. So as of right now, it's just September is a very, very difficult month in general, and I am expecting a pullback at some point. I don't know if it's going to be this week. I don't know if it's going to be the second or third week in September, but I'm waiting for that to take any new positions. And I have no interest in looking at shorts because there's not any reason to have a bearish mindset in the short term.
No trend reversal yet. Amsfar said, I'd be careful taking new positions. Cosmic said, I feel like if you're just getting in now, you might be gambling. And Rage and Cajun says, Terminator voice, I'll be back. The final question to you, Doug, is did you buy Pingu last week after talking about it on the stream with Will this week?
So I didn't. I'm actually, I have to go. Speaking of seed phrases, like I was to take a picture of I have the same problem, like hundreds post-it notes, like it's embarrassing actually.
Yeah.
But I definitely have an airdrop Pengu from the past, from having some NFTs, some worthless JPEGs. Sometimes do pay off, but I'm still waiting for a pullback on Pengu too. And not that I will get it, but there's like a pocket there, and off the top of my head, I want to say it's like 22 cents, 24 cents. Don't quote me on that without looking at a chart. Or is it $2? Regardless, it's like a 10% pullback where it is right now. I would load up, but seeing Will just basically almost become like, the guy, the Pengu here now. Like I'm more interested, and I want to go play the game, if I'm being honest. Like I messed around with games way back when. It was kind of like, meh, crypto games, meh. But this feels different based on what I'm seeing. So.
It's addicting. It's very well designed. I am one of those guys who just, like, as a rule, doesn't play games on his phone because, all of them are designed to get you. Just like TV shows, they all will hook you if you watch 2 episodes, and it's fantastic. I'm quickly becoming a maxi. We're going to stream it at some point in time, and you got to use Will's invite link if nothing else. So thank you very much for making time. I know you got to go, and we will catch up to you. I'll see you probably later at the stand-up, yeah?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Cool. Have a good day, Doug. Thanks, man.
You too. Take care, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, Doug, a.k.a. Von, our friend, your friend, host of Rise Up Market Watch. You can catch him every Monday night or morning, or now, depending on where you are, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and all the replays on your favorite social by heading to RUMSHQ, RUMSHQ.com. And that's what I will leave you with, ladies and gentlemen, monsters and machines. That's the best place to get the links to the show on your favorite social, to get some of our free downloadables, to sign up for a course, to get a self-paced learning, to get Alex's, how to train your AI research assistant, and of course, the link to the Rise Up community, which is the place the show lives 24/7. I often say it because it's true. The only thing missing is you. It really is. If you want to learn crypto, the best tip I can give you is to find a group chat, to find a community, people who already use it. Okay? That's the alpha. You go to them, not somebody that you don't know on the internet with a crypto question, especially not somebody who's like trying to sell you on an investment. Those people are not your teachers. The loudest voices are not always the most helpful. And one more thing. If you're around and you are not watching football or you got a small screen, then tonight you got to tune into the Cosmic Crypto William Watson debate hosted by our friend Caveman Fantasy. It's going to go live at 8 Eastern. In about 12 hours. I'm going to be there. You should be there. Oh, 7 p.m. You kidding me? Come on, Cosmic. You keep changing the time. Yeah, that's good, probably, honestly. Now you don't have to compete with football. 7 p.m. Eastern. 7 p.m. Eastern. We have a correction. At Caveman Fantasy over on TikTok. You'll know it's Dan because of the friendly, helpful demeanor, and you'll recognize Will and Cosmic, although I have a feeling both of them might show up in costumes. Hopefully there are boxing gloves involved, and I personally am looking forward to a fruitful conversation where everybody gets to learn something. Thank you very much, both of you, all 3 of you, for making time, and let's have fun. Want a good, clean fight? Let's get ready to rumble. Everybody, see me in the Circle community, the Rise Up community. That's where I'm headed. RumsHQ.com has the link, and the after show will be the place where, if you didn't get to it, we'll answer your crypto questions. Cannot wait to see you there. And if not, then I'll see you Monday. Same place, same time, right here. Until then, everybody, stay safe, Be well, my friends. Rise up.